Greetings, everybody. Just gonna wait a minute or two for people to pile in, and we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna play with a new AI video platform that appears to have released. One that was previously overseas over in China is now available in the US for broad usage, and it seems pretty promising. So I'm excited to show you. Hey, how's it going, guys? So, what you're looking at here, if it isn't clear, is a moving representation of my static image of a zombie, which I've used in other projects before. But this time around, I used Kling AI to generate the results. And the results have been pretty promising, pretty cool, pretty stable, honestly. And here it is, guys. So Kling AI, KlingAI.com. Pretty limited as far as its usage right now, but it is free. Well, free enough because you get 66 credits per day, I think, which replenishes every single day. And I don't think, yeah, getting ready for our subscription programs. So they don't have a subscription model yet. It's free and available to everybody, as far as I can tell. But it's very powerful, and it's definitely competitive with the likes of Runway and Sora. Just about, oh, thank you so much. That's awesome. I love hearing stuff like that. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Trippy, love your videos. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Hasanito, this zombie video was made with Kling AI. It's probably going to be the feature of today's stream. I will be hopping back to Comfy periodically because that's kind of the bread and butter of what I do. But we're also going to have some fun throwing some stuff at Kling. We're going to throw a few different prompts at it. Going to play with the image to video workflow, which is how I created this guy right here. And I've lined up a few different prompt ideas for us right over in here. So let's give some of it a try. And I'm going to keep it relatively PG-13. I don't know what Kling's, guidelines or restrictions are. I don't want to get banned on the very first day, after all. I like pushing the envelope, but I also don't want to get kicked off here just yet. So let's start with one of these, shall we? A forest of glowing mushrooms slowly engulfs an abandoned cabin. Tendrils of mycelium creeping through windows. I like it. Let's play with that. See what happens. So over on Kling, I'm going to, and I don't know how well you can see, you guys, let me try and focus it on the stream here, because I know it kind of cuts off some of the screen. And let's paste in the prompt. We have a little bar here to play with the creativity. Off to the left is more creative, off to the right is more, I guess, relevant to the prompt. Of course, I'll just leave it in the middle for now. But, okay, looking at my stream so I can make sure you can see what I'm seeing, and let's squeeze that in a bit. How's that? How's that looking? Let's see. Should be a little better. Okay, cool. Looks like there's a camera movement option. Cool. This is very reminiscent of motion lures and Comfy. You got the zoom, the pan, the tilt, the roll. Let's just do a zoom. Let's type in zoom. You can adjust how much the zoom will be. And let's just leave it at default. Let's do default everything right now. Ashpa, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the support. Let's go ahead and generate. Each generation looks like it's about 10 credits. And since we get 66 a day, it's just about 6 generations per day. Wish it was way more, because I'm the type that likes to just go to town and queue up 10 at a time, and that's not going to be possible right now, but that's okay. Let's see what it makes, and in the meantime, we have our comfy to get back onto. That's the nice thing about multitasking, because this platform does seem to take a minute to make the generations, but that's okay. Let's have some fun, shall we? I have 3 workflows open right now. The first one is just for image generation. Stable Diffusion, just an alternative to Midjourney. But, you know, I'll also open Midjourney just in case we want that as well. But let's just play with some ideas, shall we? As a matter of fact, let me take the prompts that I've prepared for Kling and let's just make images out of them. Let's see what happens, you guys. So we'll do that first one with the forest. Ooh, very cool. Very cool. Let's play with this. Let's take this, paste it on in to my morphing flow. Let's make another type of house, see what else comes out of this prompt. Pretty. Let's just do 4 of this cabin here. Let's morph between 4 variations of it. See what happens. So number 3. Hey, yeah, the time here is 3:23 p.m. I am in Pacific Standard Time, so mid-afternoon for me. And let's do the 4th one. This should be interesting. I find that architecture is kind of a new interest of mine with these videos, something I haven't explored till recently, and it usually makes some pretty interesting stuff. So here's my earlier works. If you're tuned in with my Instagram, you'll notice this was uploaded this morning, only a much higher quality version. Let's go ahead and try this. Let's try the cabins. By the way, guys, I'm also streaming right now on my Twitch and on my YouTube. It's a simulcast, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would check out those channels. A lot smaller than my Instagram. They're kind of more in their infancy, but I would really like to grow them. And honestly, I'd like to do more on Twitch as far as the streaming goes. So, so this is my Twitch. It's basically the same username, Twitch/Bennett Waysburn, and would really appreciate the support over there. Anything, you know, a follow. But if not, I'll still be here on Instagram, so choose whatever you want. And real quick, I'll show you my YouTube, which is not my username. It's actually something else. It's AI is Cursed. And as you can see right here, I am currently streaming as well. So if you feel like it, go ahead and check those out. Otherwise, let's get back to what we were doing. No pressure. Okay, interesting. So it still is bringing in those the reptile stuff, isn't it? I think the reason, I'm almost certain, is because yes, I have prompted it to do so. Typically, I'm actually the type that just prompts this workflow with images only, and I don't type any text. But last time around, I did use text because I really wanted to guide the AI deliberately. So that is why we have reptilian shapeshifter reptile. Okay, let's play with something else. A morphing cabin in the woods overtaken by mycelium wires. Let's just go with that. Let's see what happens. And already you're going to see, just by changing that prompt up, what a difference that will make. All the other settings will stay the same. All that I've changed is the text. And now as a side-by-side, you're about to see what the difference is. Ashpa, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome. Glad to know that you're enjoying it. Nuaka, thank you. Anything with food? Yeah, I used to do some food stuff. I can revisit that shortly. Okay, yeah, what a difference. Boy, look at that. So, on the right is, like you just saw, the reptile prompting, whereas on the left, I've just prompted it with cabins, and that is really cool, you guys. I can't wait to upscale that and play with it more. That's going to be really striking. I might even post it. Let's hop back to Kling and see where we're at, shall we? Ooh, okay. Sweet. What do you think, guys? That's really cool. Yeah, this will be a fun one when it's fully and properly released. I would say it's probably, I don't know if they would call it an alpha, a beta. It's definitely in its early stage, since it is lacking most features, but already this is looking stunning. I love it. Obviously a lot less psychedelic than my other version over here on Comfy, but that is to be expected. Have a good night, man. Sleep well, man or woman. Sleep well. All right, I'm inclined to go ahead and upscale this result, even though that can typically take a little longer. I'm at the very least going to 2x it and see where we get with that. That shouldn't take too long, maybe a couple extra minutes, but I think by doing so we'll already start to reveal a lot more detail in this cabin, because as beautiful as the motion looks, it's very blurry and it is not very detailed. So let's kind of bump that up a bit. So as you can see, I've activated my little upscale group over here, family of nodes, which I can toggle with this little bypasser button, on and off, on and off. Right now, of course, I have it on. And should take about a minute or two, a little less than 2 minutes. Oh, not a stupid question at all, my friend. No, that is absolutely why I'm here. The tool that you're looking at right now is Comfy UI. This program is called Comfy UI. And the install is a rather easy process. The learning of it is a little less so. But if you go ahead and you Google Comfy UI right off the bat, you should get the first link at the top, which is a GitHub link. At least that's the first for me. It might be not for you. But try and find the GitHub repository for Comfy UI, and scroll down just a touch and you will find installing Comfy UI. Click that and you'll have a direct link for download. There are some very useful walkthroughs and tutorials on YouTube as far as getting started. What I always like to do is point people to my favorite at the moment, who's by the name of Purz Beats on YouTube. Purz, P-U-R-Z, and he gives some very good educational material on how to get started, how to do various things, how to basically get you to a point where I'm at with the videos that I make. If you really dive into a lot of these videos, you should be up and running in, well, I would say no time, but it all depends on your technical prowess. Okay. Let's throw another prompt at Kling, shall we? Now that we have this beauty. Cool, so take a look. It looks like video extension is launching soon. A lot will be launching soon, it seems. The high quality option will be launching soon. Right now there's only performance mode. 10-second will be launching soon, so this is clearly very early, but still a lot of fun. So let's paste in another prompt. The next one we have is psychedelic fractals morph into writhing tentacles emerging from a misty swamp. Let's give it a shot. I think these are great prompts. Just to give you a peek behind the curtain, I made these prompts with the help of Claude, which is a very competitive model against ChatGPT. In many, many ways, it is a lot better in my experience. Would highly recommend it, Claude.ai. This is where I've derived some of these prompts from. So, gonna keep all the same settings on Kling. All we're gonna do is swap the prompt. And let's let it rip, generate. Let's see what happens. And back to our Comfy. And looky here, folks. We have an upscale. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Oh my goodness, this is going way too fast, and the reason for that is because, well, it's actually a little too much to explain right now. Just know that it's not supposed to look that way. I guess it's a pretty easy explanation. It when it exported the result, it was doing so to 2 video combine nodes instead of the usual 1. And the second one over here was set to a frame rate of 60 instead of 12. And for that reason, it's now super duper fast. Because when you increase the frame rate on a existing video, the result is a much shorter duration and therefore a much faster animation. Now to get around that, if I were to desire this video at 60 frames a second, but I don't want it to be rushing around like this, simple solution would be to activate your interpolation nodes or whatever you use to interpolate. Interpolation basically adds frames between frames. It helps you bump up the frame rate of a video to whatever you want it to be. That is handled right here in Film VFI. There's a multiplier field right here. And what that basically controls is how many frames would you like to multiply. So if it's 12 and I want to bump it up to 60, you'll do a 5 right there because 12 times 5 is 60. And I'm not going to do it now because it's a little too time consuming, but if I were to hit Q prompt again, you would find in a few minutes, basically the one on the left smoothed out and not so fast. Anyways. All right, Marin, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sorry, I was struggling to pronounce the name. I appreciate that. Could you do long content for Stream Trip? I certainly can. One way that I achieve long form loops or long form content is by slowing things way down. By generating videos out at 12 frames like I'm doing right now, that allows me to get these 8 or so second long videos, which would normally be a lot shorter if I rendered them out at a higher res, as I was just explaining. But yeah, I mean, as far as what you're seeing here, the kind of stuff that I do, these kind of reach anywhere from 8 to 10, sometimes 12 seconds long. It's kind of just within the boundaries of what Comfy is capable of. You can definitely set whatever amount of frames you'd like, but you will quickly find that Comfy will struggle and chug along and cough up a lung and even freeze your computer if you go too high. So you want to be real careful there. Real LSD, like, nice, good to hear. All right, our Kling is completely there, or nearly there rather, 65%. I'm excited. I'm excited whenever a new AI video platform comes out, you guys, because they just keep getting better. It seems like almost every week it's making a monumental leap forward. It's a really amazing time to be alive, if I'm being honest. Okay, how to set up this setup? Well, like I was saying, this is a program called Comfy UI, and the installation is relatively straightforward, but actually getting up to this level of models and fine-tuning will take a little more time. I am definitely planning on putting out a course at some point in the near future as I kind of strategize around how I'm going to do that. But in the meantime, I am pointing people towards my friend Purz over here on YouTube, P-U-R-Z, and he specifically has a really good getting started video. If I can just find it, I will link you to it. Beginner First Steps, this one right here. Creative Exploration, Beginner First Steps, by Purz. Try and find this video if you can on YouTube. It should be pretty easy. You just search Beginner First Steps Purz, I'm sure it'll be the first result. Beginner First Step Purz, and that it is right there. So highly encourage you to check that out. Should get you up and running in a couple of hours if you're committed to it, I'd say. But let's hop back over to Comfy. Carl, hi, how are you? Hey Brandon, how's it going? How to set up this setup. Hello from India, hello. All right, let's have a little more fun, shall we? I'm gonna play a little more. Actually, no, let's leave the cabins behind for now, as beautiful as it is. I am going to move on to our second prompt, the one that we just put into Kling. Let's see how it fares here. So what I'm gonna do is start with the image generation, like I did for the cabins. Let's paste that in and see what we get. Okay. Fascinating. Yeah, this will be good. Let's try it out. Okay, let's copy that. Okay. All right, so once again, it's going to be 4 different images that we're going to morph between. Is it a free software? Yes, Comfy UI is completely free. What won't be free is the hardware setup that you're going to need to get anything out of this that's really meaningful. I would encourage you that you don't skimp on the details with hardware. I'm personally running off of a 4090 NVIDIA. You do not need that much power. I just really like to have faster render times, I guess you could say. But you can really get by on a pretty modest setup in this day and age. Comfy is very adaptable, very flexible, but just don't expect to get the full, amount of power out of it without the right hardware. One second. One second, folks. So we have, I think, 2 out of our 4 images. Yes, 2 out of our 4. Let's do 2 more. And then we'll hop back over to Kling and see where we're at there. Ooh, this is a cool one. Nice. Okay, 1 more to go. Yeah, this will be a fun one. Pretty. Okay. Now we've pasted them into our morph flow here, and we're going to assist it further by prompting it appropriately. I'm starting to realize more and more just the importance of text prompting it in addition to the images, just to keep the AI, on track and really help guide it. So now that we have the images in place and the prompt as well, we're going to let it rip and see what happens. Cue prompt. Just give it a few seconds. Meantime, let's check in on our Kling. Ooh, oh yeah, this will be a fun one when the full version's out. This is really good stuff. The same quality on a 3060, I would probably say yes. Only caveat being the render time. I would pretty confidently say you could achieve similar results to these, if not the same, as long as you're willing to wait just a little longer than I do as far as the render. But it might even be a nominal wait, a nominal difference in time. Maybe instead of like a 10-minute render, it's a 20 or 25-minute. That's just a ballpark, but I think 3060 is more than competent enough to handle this. And I also think this is really cool. What do you guys think? The smoky den of a purple octopus monster. Good stuff. Save that. All right. And here we are with our comfy version. Interesting. Very interesting. Little too circular for my taste. And what I mean by that is the source video is bleeding through a little too much. I don't like that. In other words, you can tell exactly what the motion mask was used for this video. And I often like to conceal that to the best of my ability. I like the more organic motions. So what we're going to do, we're going to lower the weight of our control net to maybe about 0.3, I think will be okay. It's anywhere between 0 and 1 is where you want to set the strength. I usually bounce between anywhere from like 0.4 to 0.8, 0.9. But let's bring it down to 0.3, like really de-emphasize that circular motion. But what that will do though is allow the AI to hallucinate some of its own motions and unique elements. It will also try to prioritize the image inputs even stronger. And now I am actually very happy with the results. I think we got something way better now. Look at what a difference just lowering that weight by a little bit makes. This is cool stuff. Man, we're making some real good ones today, aren't we? This is sick. This is really cool. Oh, howdy, aw, thank you. Thank you, I love you too. Illusion after paper. Yes. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, yes. Pro, thank you so much, Osim. Awesome. Let's just upscale it again because I'm a sucker for upscaling. Let us do it. It's distracting me. Okay. Let's do another Kling prompt. And by the way, if you guys want to offer any, you know, ideas for prompts or have any kinds of ideas or reference images that you want me to play with, please let me know, and I'd love to take your request. What am I doing, you ask? I am making AI videos using various platforms, like Comfy UI and a new one today that just came out called Kling AI. Let's take a look. Give me a second while I check. Ah, nice. If I'm not replying to comments on other platforms, I do apologize. My focus has been mainly on Instagram for the time being, but let me hop over to the others and make sure I'm answering you guys. So I have a Twitch comment here from Just About. Following on all platforms, what I use to create the prompts. Yeah, so format for these in particular, I mean, there's a general, like, I don't know what you would say. Like, there's general principles to follow, a general structure that a lot of these platforms entail. I wouldn't be able to tell you that right here directly. I mean, like, as far as the specific ordering of, like, the adjectives and, like, the setting and the movement style, like, that's something that is kind of an ongoing learning process for me. But to make the prompts that you're seeing here today, I can answer that. I used a platform called Claude AI, which is very similar to ChatGPT, although in my opinion is far better. And I used it to help me create these prompts. I basically asked it, please generate some interesting prompt ideas for the new AI video platform that came out today. Should be interesting, dynamic settings, but I want it thematically in line with what I'm known for, which is creepy horror elements, mushroom and nature, psychedelic qualities. And it did its very best to give me 10 really cool examples. And as you can see, they are cool examples. They're making some pretty sick stuff. So if you're having trouble engineering prompts on your own, I would highly encourage you to lean on either ChatGPT or Claude or one of these large language models, because they will help you. 8 gigs VRAM, low for transitions like yours. 8 gigs of VRAM is certainly on the more modest end of requirements, especially for the video stuff, I will be honest. For just basic Stable Diffusion image generation, that should be more than enough. But for videos, it's hard to say, but from what I've heard in the community, 8 gigs is kind of at the minimum end of things. I would encourage anything more than 8, probably nothing less than 8. I think my card has like 24 gigs of memory, video memory, and it's plenty enough for what I need. Of course, I always want more because I always want the biggest and best, you know, hardware. But yeah. KJ Moore, this is me playing around with AI video tools, a couple different ones. The one you're seeing here is called Comfy UI. It's an open source variant and is not really for the faint of heart. As you can see, it's just a bunch of spaghetti wiring and a bunch of nodes that talk to each other, do various things. But the end result of all of this is always a cool video like this. And I'm also featuring a new platform that came out today, which is a lot easier on the eyes, not quite as complex, called Kling AI. And that's a pretty cool one as well. You're looking at a sample of it right here. And this is basically just text prompting. This just gives you kind of a box up here and you type in what you want it to make, play with a couple different levers, and generate. And it seems very capable. I'm excited to play with it some more. And folks, here we have the upscaled version of our writhing tentacle forest. And boy, is that sick. Very, very cool. Which models am I using? For this particular generation, for this workflow, and just lately in general, I've really preferred one called Realism by Stable Yogi. It's a very good one for like realistic renderings. The database that it learns from is basically comprised of, from what I understand, a lot of like realistic photographs and realistic references. Of course, there's a lot of different kinds of models out there for anime, cartoons, whatever style you're really into. I've been really into the realism lately. The more realistic, the better. What do I think of Kling? I think it's impressive as heck. I think it's sick. Here's something I just made with it a few minutes ago, and I'm about to make another, but yeah, like right out the gate with just like a simple text prompt, it's very coherent, and the results do not look uncanny, at least not yet. I'm kind of sticking to abstracts, but yeah, overall very impressed. I just wish I had more like control. Like I wish more of the features were available, because it's a lot is currently locked away. Like the high quality is locked away, the 10-second mode is locked away. But it should be a lot of fun as they release more. Hello, Kalina, how are you? Octopus, octopus, octopus. Wow, nice. Yes, I agree. Very nice. This is a fun platform. You know, actually, for additional comparisons, how about we just toss some of these prompts into Runway, which should give us even more to play with. Let me enter that first forest prompt in, and then I'm going to do the tentacle one that we just did as well. That'll give us actually a direct comparison between some of the top players, Runway and Kling, as we patiently await Sora's imminency. Sora, by the way, is OpenAI's video platform, which is widely considered the most impressive one to date, but is still not on the market, curiously enough. Let us save this, because this is sick, you guys. I mean, it's beautiful in its own way. Like, I wouldn't say it's better or worse than Kling. I wouldn't say it's better or worse than this one, but it's good in its own way. It's like, it's unique unto itself, you know? Load video. Let's kind of side by side it for my own amusement. Load. Okay. Yeah, so same prompt, two different platforms. Pretty cool. Oh, it rejected that? That doesn't sound very bad at all. Truck transforming into a transformer. Yeah, I mean, some of the times these platforms just reject the most innocent prompts for me as well. Honestly, I would just maybe try rewording it slightly, because obviously it's not inappropriate. It's just maybe something in there is triggering it. Oh yeah, I mean, for sure, Sora is like available to some closed off audiences. Just like a very exclusive platform at the moment. It's by no means open to the public. But unable to use image to video. No, I am able to access image to video. I made something earlier. Where did I have an example? Yes, I made this earlier with the image to video. This was made with Kling. Image on the left, I think I made with Stable Diffusion. And then on the right is Kling. Pretty cool, honestly. Like, as far as image to video goes, this is like superb. I am anxious to get my hands on more. Ewing's knees. Hey, thank you so much. You rule too. Thanks, Gingerbot. Appreciate it. I will continue doing whatever I can. So let's see where we're at with our runway. Almost there. Yeah, and unfortunately, Runway Gen 3, as cool as it is, still does not support my two favorite features, image to video and portrait mode. It lacks both of those, sadly. I'm sure they're on the horizon. I'm sure they'll come out any day, hopefully. But I still use this quite often just because the results are just gorgeous, and it's hard to resist. Oh, there might be some lag here. Hang on. My camera seems to be lagging. I wonder why. Cade Jamor, I'm sorry that I didn't see your comment sooner. I'm hopping between platforms here. The website that I'm using a couple actually, for AI video generation. One of them is called Kling AI. It just came out today actually, at least in the West, and having a lot of fun with that. And the other one I'm using is Runway, which has been out for a few weeks, and is this one right here. The third one that I'm using is Comfy UI, and this actually isn't a website. Well, it opens in the browser, but it's a local installation of a piece of software that's open source and lets you play with Stable Diffusion. Yeah, no, it's really good. Definitely have some fun with it. The only thing with Kling is, of course, there's a daily limitation, and it seems like there's only a free version right now, if I'm not mistaken. So you can't pay for like more access yet, but it looks like that's on its way. Getting ready for subscription programs, it says. Yeah, this website's fairly crude. In fact, oh, that's so funny. You don't see that too often these days, but as a web developer in a previous life, I noticed instantly that this is not mobile friendly. Look at when I shrink the browser. I don't know if you're as amused by that as I am, but it's not responsive. It doesn't reformat in any way. That's hysterical. Well, clearly the website is in its infancy, but it's still a lot of fun. Kling is free, yes. For the moment, Kling is free and openly available. KlingAI.com is the address. I think it might require you make an account like I did, but other than that, it's pretty much free. David, let me read your comment. Just caught it. I'm trying to set up Stable Diffusion for 2 days on my AMD 8 gig. Always crash at the end and says I'm low on VRAM. And you're just working with 512 pixel images. That doesn't sound like it would be right. Like, that sounds like it should be more than enough for what you're using it for. Maybe let me know what like the specific error is that you're getting. I mean, don't like obviously paste the whole error into chat here because Comfy throws some pretty big error messages, but if you can kind of like distill down the error that it's saying to you, I might be able to guide you with that. That should be, it might be an AMD thing. I'm not familiar with Comfy's support for AMD or non-NVIDIA chips. That might be a place to start with that. I would assume it supports AMD, but I don't have AMD hardware, so I wouldn't know. Generative AI website, correct. Yes, these are generative AI websites. Kling AI and Runway. And then Comfy as well, which is open source. Ooh, okay, it's fine. This is not the most exciting thing I've ever seen, but it's interesting. I like our other results a little more though, don't you? And here we have the psychedelic fractals morph into writhing tentacles. Let's see how this looks. One really nice thing about Runway is the resolution and frame rate. Just like right out the gate, look at that production value. That is like really high def. But not quite on the mark as far as prompt coherence and listening to what I've written. But still fun. Let's save that. Hop back to Comfy. And just for the heck of it, let's paste it in. All right, here's our 3 little friends here. Let's do the next prompt, shall we? We're kind of lagging behind here. Laid back, you are welcome anytime. Definitely a problem with AMD. I don't want to bother you. Oh, for sure, David. Yeah, I mean, if you have more questions, feel free to hit me up in the DM. I'm more than happy to try to help you with it. Again, 8 gigs seems like it should be more than enough, but it might be something else that's going on. Like it might just be like a missing model or a missing control net or even a missing node. I don't know, but it might be something I've run into. So yeah, let's talk about it. Make sure to drink lots of water and get some sleep. Yeah, no, I do need more sleep. The Twitch, I've had that Twitch like forever. It's kind of like a lifelong thing. I'm always like this. But I appreciate you caring nonetheless. Cling, no, it's cling, like clinging to a ledge, only it's spelled with a K. So, Kling AI, I'll just type it out for reference here. Okay, Kling.ai, I believe this is the address. Just go to Kling.ai. Wait, is that correct? Kling.ai? Oh, no, I don't think it's Kling.ai. It's KlingAI.com, I believe. No, that's wrong too. Why am I guessing here? I already have it open in a tab. Let's check it out. KlingAI.com. Is that right? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so that took way too long. KlingAI.com is your destination here. KlingAI.com. Yeah, right. No, they're really cool results with the tentacles. Thank you. Yeah, we're playing with different platforms with the same exact prompt. If I bring Comfy back open, from left to right, it's obviously Comfy UI, and then the new Kling, and finally Runway. And as cool as the Runway one is, it's not quite as accurate. Not in my opinion, anyway. Although it did capture the psychedelic part of the prompt quite well. Maybe the others didn't get as psychedelic in that way. They all have their pros and cons, don't they? Like anything in life. Kling, yes, for sure. Thank you, Laidback. Hello from Turkey. Hello, hi, how are you? All the way in Turkey, huh? That's awesome. Okay, let's move on to prompt number 3, folks. Since I want to see what we can do while we have time. And by the way, I should be going up until we're at the 42-minute mark. I'm going to take it for an hour, so I want to say 4:20, give or take. 20 minutes from now, folks. 4:20 p.m. Pacific is when I will be streaming until. But until then, let's continue. We have our third prompt here, which I have now said like 5 times or something. ADD. Prompt number 3. A hiker discovers a pulsating, alien-like fungal growth that seems to breathe and whisper. Very descriptive, very cool. Let's see what the image representation of that looks like. Sweet. And by the way, if you're wondering which model I'm using for image generation, it's one that I found recently, which is quite cool, quite good. It's called Mobius. M-O-B-I-U-S. And I find that it's best for prompt coherence. It's actually very good at listening to what you've typed in the prompt. And it also has some pretty nice looking results as well. But yep, gonna bring this. Do I want to go with this? Do I want? Yeah. Let's. Well, I don't know. We already kind of just did like the mushroom kind of stuff. What else do we have here? A peaceful meadow scene distorts into as flowers, transforming into gnashing maws. Gnarly. Shadow figures dance around a bonfire. Let's do that one. That sounds pretty ominous. Hello from Bolivia. Hello. How are you? Nice to meet you. Hi from California. Hey, how's it going? I'm also in Cali. Hello 420. Hey, you're not a child. It's a fair observation. I don't knock you at all for it. I would notice it too. Hello from Indonesia. Hi. How are you? This is a touch too cartoony, maybe. Oh, maybe not. Let's go with it. Let's have some fun. Doesn't matter how cartoony it is. Especially because my model specializes in realism, so it should be interesting to see how it handles a cartoon input. Interesting to me, anyway. Ooh, okay. Got that. Got that. Okay, image number 3. Yes, Mobius. You can find it on Civitai. You can find pretty much all of this on Civitai. If you guys are not familiar, civitai.com, CIVITAI.com is arguably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, website for open source AI, anything really. It's an amazing website. Okay, we are on to image number 4 now. This is going to be very occultic and cool. Occultic. Oh wow, this is funny. Very interesting. So we have our 4 images in hand. We're going to carry the prompt over as well that we just used into to our morph flow and let her rip. Let's see what happens. Okay. I still really like that cabin, you guys. I'm going to play with that more later. As well as these tentacles. They're so cool. Did I save that? Oh, no. I don't think I saved the tentacle. Shoot, you know what? Let me see if I can get it back. I want those 4 tentacle images. Since I'm doing everything on the fly here, folks, I didn't actually save the tentacle workflow, sadly. But if I Control Z back far enough, I might be able to find them. Oh, almost there. Ouch. I look like how you attach different VSTs together on DAW. Oh, music production lingo. Yeah, I'm not terribly familiar with those terms, but that's interesting that you're seeing some similarities. Great. Okay, now we are back with our tentacles. Thank goodness. Just going to name the workflow tentacles. This is an important lesson, by the way, to always save your workflows right when you've found something that you really like, so that you can return to it later and upscale it or do whatever you want. Just Control S and Comfy will bring up this dialog up top. You give it a name. It saves as a JSON file, and at any point in the future, drag that JSON directly back onto Comfy, like so. Like I have it right here. And I'm not going to right now, but when you want to return to it, just drag it onto Comfy, release, and it'll bring you right back to where you were. This is pretty cool. Very animated, very lively. I really like it. I'm going to upscale that. That's going to be dope. Still got music playing. I want the music to be going. Let's see. Yes, it looks like we do. Yes, always save. Oh, what do you write to ChatGPT when you want ideas for images? Well, you can have a natural conversation with it about, like, I mean, something to the effect of, like, I want images in this particular theme, and I don't know where to start with the prompts, but this is kind of my vague idea of the situation. You can literally be as casual as you want to be with the conversation, but if you want to have it help you write prompts, there's actually a really great custom GPT. I don't know if you're familiar with those on chat. If you've used it any length of time, you should be, but there is one called, one that I use anyway, there's probably newer ones, Midjourney MJ Prompt Generator V6. And what this will basically help you do, as the name suggests, is write you really good usable Midjourney prompts based on an idea, based on a vague idea. Like, I want to make trippy mushrooms in Central Park in the middle of the night. And just like magic, you type that in, and it will not only give you 5 options to choose from, but it will also format it in a perfect enough way. You literally just copy the code, you hop right over to Midjourney, and you just do a Control V, and it's already ready to go. You just paste that right into Discord, and you don't even have to do /imagine. It formats everything for you. It's really amazing. And yeah. Yeah, you should be able to find a backlog of these what is it called? VOD, video on demand. Kind of a log of everything I've gone live with so far on my YouTube. You can find it at /AI is cursed. This is my YouTube channel, and if you go to live, you will see a growing collection of my live streams. So I hope that helps. Okay, where were we? Were about to upscale our friends, weren't we? So we have the forest dwellers again right here, but this time I'm going to upscale for funsies. Oh, and also, of course, we need to give it to Kling and to Runway, because that is part of the fun today. text video, shadowy figures. Let's try it. And let's also give it to runway. Let's do runway as well. So 3 separate platforms, 1 prompt to rule them all. Let's see which one comes out on top, which is a very subjective metric. There's not going to be any one, I think, that reigns supreme. Oh, Restream is the thing that I'm using at the moment. I'm actually streaming with Restream, but as far as getting like my pre-records, you can find maybe Restream allows for recording as well. I haven't played with that, but yes. All right. Okay, Kling is at about 33%. Runway is at 41. So if this were a race based strictly on speed of generation, Runway would be in the lead. But I think we're going to find that Kling's results are a little more pleasing to look at, based on my experience so far. Not to knock Runway by any means. Runway's amazing. I've uploaded many things in recent weeks to my Instagram using it. Mischievous, hi, how are you? What exactly are you saying please for? Did you ask me a question earlier that I overlooked accidentally? If so, please repeat it. Mobius Labs, not Mobius. I don't know if they have a website. That's not where I obtained the model though. I just grabbed it straight off of Civitai. So if you go to Civitai and you start typing Mobius in the search up top, M-O-B-I-U-S, it should be the 3rd result down. It is for me at least, and it's this one right here. It has this kind of swirly blue and purpley cosmic logo thing, but this would be the page, and just download it. It's rather sizable. There's 2 versions. There's a 6 gig and a 13 gig version. I think the only real difference is the 13 gig is slightly. What did the creator say? I watched a stream with the creator telling the difference. I think it basically just gives you a little more option. Like, I think it follows your prompts a little more closely, a little more accurately, is what I want to say. But I think you should still have really good results even with the smaller model. I'm using the bigger one personally. So if you have the space, I would recommend downloading the 13 gig. And here we are, folks, with the this 3rd prompt here with the what look like pilgrims playing around in the forest with giant mushrooms. And it looks like I actually forgot to turn off the interpolator, which means that in a moment we're going to see a high frame rate version of this, which should be really cool. Website name. What you're looking at here is called Comfy UI, and it's not any particular website. It's actually a program that you install on your computer. And then once you run it, it actually opens up in the browser in its own little tab here. But it's not an actual website that you go to. All right, ladies and folks. Ladies and folks. Cool. Here's a side-by-side. The one on the left is 12 frames a second. One on the right is 60. And this is the power of interpolation, if you were wondering. Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah, no, definitely the spelling for Civitai, I will help you with that. It is Civit as in civilian, or, yeah, Civit. C-I-V-I-T, A-I as in, well, AI. Civitai.com is what I want to say. Civitai, yeah. Civitai.com. Civitai.com, there you go. I'll leave that up on the screen for just a second. Hopefully that gives you some place to start. Oh, did it not? Oh, yes, it did. I'm watching my stream on the phone as I'm doing it, and it's quite delayed, so that's okay. Alright, so yeah, this is really dope. I like it a lot. It's kind of cute. Very whimsical. And let's see what the other ones are doing too. We go back to Kling. And Kling, what do you have for me? Creepy. Just a couple folks around a campfire. Looks a lot more realistic, I'll give it that much. It looks like it could almost be actual footage. Very ominous. I like it though. And what does Runway have for us? Let's see what Runway has. Okay. This is cool. I like this. Ooh, this is sick. Very, very cool. I think the Comfy UI Stable Diffusion one might be my favorite, but these are very cool. Laid back, you are so welcome. Anytime. Yeah, this is fun. This is a cool one. Ooh, it made something that we didn't look at. Oh. That's interesting. So, the psychedelic fractal morph with the tentacles, the end is actually really cool. I didn't even notice how cool it gets at the end. I kind of wish we got some more of that. You know what, actually, I'm going to reuse that prompt. I'm going to click the little reuse button here, and I'm going to just delete psychedelic fractals altogether. I just want to morph into writhing tentacles. Yeah, that's all I want for that. So. Okay. Yeah, super cool looking. Agreed. Okay, let's take a look at the time. Alright folks, we have a couple more minutes left, but just enough time to squeeze in one more prompt, I would say. One more prompt with Comfy. I'm going to leave Kling and Runway for the time being. It was fun, I hope you enjoyed it too, but for our last generation, I'm just going to do Comfy UI. So let's pick a fun one. What do I have here to choose from? Let's see. Time-lapse of decay in a lush forest. The rotting manor forms unsettling faces and patterns. Ooh, I like that. Tranquil pond ripples revealing an underwater world of neon mycelia. Ooh, I like the second to last. Cosmic horror entities peek through rifts in reality, disguised as bizarre plants and fungi. Let's do that one. That sounds fun. You know what though? It's just gonna be like more mushroom pictures. I want something a little less mushroomy for this last one. Let's try the last prompt. Tranquil pond ripples. Okay, yeah, I think this is gonna be good. Yeah, ooh, that's beautiful. That is really pretty. ComfyUIWeb.com. I'm not familiar with that URL. I don't know where that would take you. But what you're looking at here, this isn't an actual website. It's a local program installation, a program that I installed. And once you do install it, well, you don't even have to install it. There's a portable version as well that will run right on the fly. But regardless, once you extract the files to one of your folders on your desktop, you'll find a Windows batch file called run_nvidia.gpu. Run NVIDIA GPU. Sorry, I'm getting tired here. Run NVIDIA GPU, you double click that, it runs your command line for a few seconds, and then it will open a tab in your browser like you see here. And then you're off to the races with Comfy. It operates in a browser, but it's not an actual website. Yeah, it's software. Okay, let's do this. Is there a batch size? Where's the batch size? I'm almost positive that there's a way to generate 4 images at once in one job instead of having to just click Q every time. But, oh yeah, here we go. 2. I'll deal with that later. Let's just get this done. Okay, that's very cool. there, one more to go. And I hope, ladies and gentlemen, you have enjoyed your time here with me today. I know I have. Beautiful. Last step would be grab it. Let's let her rip. Okay, so we are now animating the Tranquil Pond Ripples prompt. And as you can see, I've brought the prompt into our morphing workflow as well, pasted in the images, and I've queued up the project. And in a couple seconds here, we're going to see the result. When am I going live next? Well, I'm aiming right now for Monday through Friday, 12 p.m., 1 p.m. Pacific. I'm kind of just aiming generally for early afternoon. I will try and be a little more consistent with that over time, but you can expect me anywhere between like 12 and 1 p.m. during the work week Pacific. Okay, this is cool. This is beautiful. Yeah, very cool. Alright. Comfy is on GitHub, yes. If you Google Comfy UI, the first result should be the GitHub repo. Yeah, Comfy UI on Google, you type that in, first result. You know what, it might not be your first result because I'm just noticing now it has a little tag that says you visit often, which probably means Google is serving me a relevant result. But if it's not your first one, just look for the Comfy, so you scroll a bit. Oh, comfyuiweb.com. What is this? I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you. Oh, that's cool. It's like an on-the-fly kind of comfy thingy. Yeah, I don't know what this is though. It looks interesting though. But yeah, find the GitHub link for it, and you should be able to find the install link not too far down. Installing Comfy, click that, and then you will find a direct link to download right here. Yes. All right, upscale is almost complete, and then I do have to get going, folks. About 20 seconds left on the clock for this video here. Very cool. A little too much going on with the light stuff, like the flashing lights and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of that. But aside from that, I like the composition, I like the movement, I like the morphing, and very easy on the eyes otherwise. But I probably wouldn't use it. I probably wouldn't put it on social media because the flashing lights are not, I'm not a fan. Just not a fan of it. But hey, with that, I think we're gonna park it here, and yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm going to try and do 12 p.m. Pacific. You might have to expect me more around like 1 or 1:30, but do keep your eyes peeled if you want to see more tomorrow early afternoon. And yeah, thanks for joining. This was a lot of fun for me. I hope it was for you, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye guys.